What's good, YouTube? So let's go over real quick. I'm certainly sure this past week on Sunday, if a lot of you opened the market, you probably seen a gap in the market with a lot of the pairs from Euro USD to gold to silver to oil to GBP USD, Euro JPY pairs, USD JPY. You'll see lots of gaps happen in the market every so often, and normally it's over on the weekends. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, how do these gaps get here? If the market's closed, it's only open 24/5, Sunday to Friday. That's true and that's not true. Okay, let's go over these gaps in the market. Let's understand what I'm actually talking about. I'm gonna go here, and as you can see, this is Euro JPY. Okay, if you see right here on Sunday, go ahead and look down here at the bottom down here, and you'll see it says Sunday. Okay, that is the market open. If you see price gapped, so price ended on Friday here, it ended around 157.885. Okay, and then price gapped on Sunday at market open to 157.836. That's incredibly a lot. That's actually well over 50 pips. So about a 50 pip drop. Okay. Over the weekend, and you're probably thinking, how does this gap actually even get in the market? How can this gap be utilized in the market? If you look here, go here on silver, there's a gap as well on silver. If you go to gold, there's a gap as well on gold. And you'll see this box right here that I have. Okay, understanding this box is the gap. Basically, that's all it's doing is highlighting the gap from when it started to when it opened. And what this does is tell me that, okay, I have a range, I have a void in the market, I have an imbalance in the market, I have a supply or demand zone in the market, I have a area that price is more than likely at some point going to get pulled back into. The reason why this gap actually happened in the market is due to the news events that happened over the weekend. Now, yes, the markets are only open 24/5 a week. Okay, that's Sunday to Friday, 24/7, 7 days a week. Obviously, you have that hour intermission break when the stock market's closing, and then the market closes and reopens. What you need to understand is the market is actually not closed, so you can actually trade on the weekends. It's called after hour trading, or they have over the counter markets where you could trade 24/7, 7 days a week. But you need to understand the markets, just because you don't see the markets open and you're not trading retail charts over the weekend, there's still being money moved. People are still moving money. Banks are still moving money. Investors that are investing lots of money, they are moving money, especially when events happen. People will move money. If you see a major event happen, people are moving money over the weekend. Definitely, if something like a war breaks out, it will cause gaps like this to happen. Certain news events happen, or lots of political things, economic things that happen around the world, they cause these gaps in the markets to happen. Now, I want you to see how you see this gap has not been filled. The price has not came back and filled the gap in. So we have a gap in the market. Obviously, due to a war, gold is a very phenomenal place, or gold is a top priority where people store their money when things are very unstable in the world. So you'll see gold and silver, they'll rise. Silver has already gave us a pullback, but you still see the imbalance in the market. Understanding that the imbalance in the market is still there is a key thing. You can utilize these gaps when you go about trading. Go here to oil. If you see here in oil, you could utilize this gap, understanding that there's an imbalance in the market. Markets make gaps, and markets will fill the gap. They always fill the gap. It doesn't have to fill it right off bat, but the market will fill the gap. Okay, so as you can see here on oil, it filled the gap by Wednesday. Go to gold, same gap from the same day, same events, hasn't even filled the gap yet. Matter of fact, we're well away from the gap at this moment. This is the hour chart. Go here to Euro USD. Right here, here's the gap. The gap's already been filled, and now market is starting to balance itself out. Okay, price makes a gap, causes imbalance, price fluctuates, goes to other areas, new structure, and then it will become imbalanced. And what happens after is they have to go back and correct themselves. It doesn't have to happen immediately. As you can see, the gap got filled on Monday. If you look at gold, gold still hasn't even been filled yet. So we know that we have an imbalance in the market, which is fine. Which gold is probably still going to continue up just because things are very unstable. You go here to EJ. EJ is the same thing. It caused a major gap. Man, look at that gap. Major gap. Being in that's deadly. That's deadly right there. Price causes a gap, and then it comes back and fills in that gap eventually. This gap got filled on Tuesday. It partially went in on Sunday, and then eventually got filled on Tuesday. Then we go down here to oil. Right here, same gap, same news. This gap eventually got filled on Wednesday, which would have been yesterday. Well, it's 12:51, so the day before yesterday, and it goes on and on. Anytime you have major events happen over the weekend, there's literally going to normally be a gap happen in the market, because people that have lots of money in the market will they'll move their money elsewhere, and that can cause ripples in the market. Understanding that you going and trading on the weekends is not going to really do much to the market, because your little $1,000 is probably not going to move much of anything in the market, and there's not as much volatility during the weeks. It just understanding that, yes, markets are open 24/5, but they're technically actually open 24/7, 7 days a week. There's systems, there's electronical, there's, matter of fact, we're just gonna pull up the damn website. Okay, so right here, how does price change in the markets if it's closed? So price changes in the financial markets can occur when the markets are closed due to several factors. These changes are reflected in the opening prices when the market reopens. Here are some key factors that influence price changes while markets are closed. News and events. Major news releases, economic data, geopolitical, so on and so forth. Market sentiment shifts, news or events that happen over the weekend during market closure. After hours trading. In some markets, trading continues outside of regular hours, though through electronic communication networks, ECNs, or after-hour trading platforms. Price changes during these extended trading hours can influence the opening price when the markets officially reopen. Okay? Orders placed outside of trading hours. Traders can place orders including limit orders, stop orders, and market orders outside of regular trading hours if significant news or events occur. These orders can be executed when markets reopen, impacting opening prices. Global markets and time zones. Markets are interconnected, and trading can continue in different time zones even when one specific market is closed. Liquidity gaps. Thin or liquid markets, which can be more common during market closure or overnight, are more susceptible to price gaps. When there are fewer closures overnight, or when there are fewer participants trading, it may be easier for price to move significantly between closing and opening prices. Market orders at open. Orders executed as the market opens. can also influence opening prices. Okay, it's important to know that traders to be aware of potential price gaps and volatility when markets reopen after closures on the weekend to manage the risk. Okay, so you heard it right there. Okay, it literally gave you 7 reasons why why price can move. Understanding that you can utilize that and actually trade them gaps. When you're holding it, sometimes it could be beneficial to you. As you could see, you could have been up an extra 50 pips more than what you thought you would have been, or you could be down 50 pips. That could have hit your stop loss and took you out. You have to understand that and take that in account. And when you get on these charts, you'll see these gaps in the market and stuff, and it can be very, very weird and discouraging trying to understand what the heck is going on with the gap. But that's something to see in the gap. Also, if you're using the Hakanashi candles, you're not going to see the gap in the market, so you have to actually use traditional candles in order to see the gap. And also, some of the pairs that you look at, if you look here at gold, you can see the gap. Now, if I go here and I actually go to gold again, and we're on capital. No, wait. We want that one. Oh. XAUSD right here. Owanda. Okay. Let me put these back up here. Hold on. Okay. All right. So we're on the gold pair, okay? Let's go back down. Let's go down here to this gold pair, Owanda. On Owanda, you can't actually see. You cannot actually see the gap. So some pairs will not show the gap. And I found this actually the other day when I recorded this. I recorded this on Sunday, and I wanted to redo it because I wanted to, kind of show you where you can get some questions answered. If you have basic questions and you want to get some things answered and people are answering your questions, where the hell is it? You could go to ChatGPT. Remember, this is an open source from 2021, so a lot of the stuff that you're going to see on YouTube is a lot of copy and paste, and it's actually, matter of fact, 2 to 3 years old. So that's what a lot of people are actually using. So you can literally go here and get a lot of the basic questions that you need answered. Obviously, ChatGPT is not a financial advisor, they're not a mentor, but they can get the basic questions answered. So, and then this, obviously, when price for gold is gapped over the weekend, how is price moved over the weekend if the market is only opened on Sunday to Friday? This was another question I had because I was like, what if they asked this question? So when you observe the gap in the price of gold or any asset over the weekend markets that are open from Sunday to Friday, it's important to understand that price movement you see on Sunday reflects events and trading activity that occurred when the markets were closed. Friday closing price, gold prices are typically quoted up until the closing time for the relevant market on Friday. Closing price represents the last traded price for the gold at the time. Weekend developments over the weekend, significant news events and economic data. We had that. After hours trading, while many traditional markets are closed over the weekend, some electronic trading platforms like the COMEX division or the CME group offer after-hours trading for gold and other commodities. These after-hours sessions can still see trading activity, which can influence price. Global influences. Gold is a global commodity, and trading in gold happens in various markets around the world. Market sentiment shifts, news spreads, and traders react to it, obviously. Sunday evening opening price, obviously. So like I said, you could go here and you can literally is after hours open for retail traders. After hours trading, also known as extended hours trading, is generally open to retail traders, but it's important to understand that not all brokers and trading platforms offer the same level of access or same hours of trading for trading. Here's what you need to know: availability by the broker, limited hours, volume and liquidity, order types, securities and eligibility, risk factors, regulation, so on and so forth. I'm not gonna obviously read through it, but I'm just I'm just showing you that you can literally use this to get basic knowledge, basic questions answered, and really get to the inside of the actual Forex industry, and not just what you see on social media or what you see on YouTube, and actually do your own research and use ChatGPT as an assistant. Here's another question. Are banks able to trade when the Forex markets are closed? Banks and financial institutions can engage in Forex trading when the Forex market is officially closed, primarily through obviously ECNs and over-the-counter market trading platforms. Obviously, you got electronic communication networks. It gives you a list of how they do it. OTC trading, weekend trading. Some Forex brokers offer weekend trading for retail traders, forward and future markets, global trading centers, so on. So you need to really sit down and do your due diligence when you do this trading stuff, okay? Traders telling you that the markets are open 24/5 days a week. That's so fucking weird to say. They're not wrong. And the only reason I re-recorded this video because I had said that, and I was like, I know that obviously money can be moved on the weekends, and that's how gaps happen. But I wanted to actually kind of prove it to you and show you how you can really find your own answers and utilize ChatGPT. Matter of fact, if you go and purchase the ChatGPT 4.0, you can actually connect it to the internet. So yeah, that's just a quick way that you can actually utilize the gaps when you're trading, because like I said, when the market makes gaps, the market will always go back and fill that gap. It doesn't have to be instant, but the market will always go back and fill the gap. I can go back through months and months of data and show you it, back test it for yourself if you think that I'm lying. But when the market makes gaps, the market will fill the gap. That's what happens. It's the cycles of the market. Remember that, the cycles of the market. You got accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's just a cycle of the market. It happens consistently over and over and over again. Okay? Sometimes the accumulation is bigger than other times. Sometimes the manipulation is not as broad as what it is other times. Sometimes the distribution isn't as big as some distributions. It's all different, but it's still the same cycle. It's all you have to do is just catch on to the cycle, understand the market tendencies, and I promise you're going to get this. And like I said, if you got any basic questions, I promise you ChatGPT is a good place to go. Get them answered. And if you don't believe them, you can always obviously go ask your mentor and double check the answers. But I can bet 9 out of 10 times they're going to probably be getting the information from the same sources that ChatGPT got the information from, except for the chart time. ChatGPT can't give you the chart time. You got to put the chart time in. If you really want to be successful at this, you got to put the chart time in. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else to it. Literally nothing else to it. So I'm gonna actually get this video edited and up. We'll go over liquidity too. I actually got some videos for liquidity that I wanted to do, and I'll talk about liquidity, how you can find resting liquidity, understanding volume, and market. But I hope it was good. Like, subscribe, share. I hope that you got some type of knowledge from the video. I hope that it was useful and beneficial to you. I do have a pre-launch in my community. I'm in the works of it, but it's not really something like that. But we got a pre-launch of the community down below. Check it out. It'll be an easy place for you to get a hold of me. You want to talk? Obviously, there's no BS there. You come there with some BS, you will get banned and kicked quickly. I don't got time for that. And it's just a place that you can go and chat with other traders that are on the same journey as you. And that's what a lot of you really need, is to get some questions answered by the people that are on the journey just a little bit ahead of you, not the people that are already at the finish line of the journey. You need to know how the people that are already on the journey, how they got to where they are in the journey, and how it's been in the journey. And that's another video I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the levels in the journey, like the stages that you're going to go through as a trader, because everybody goes through normally the same stages, but sometimes stages are bigger and a lot harder on other people. So it's very beneficial. I don't know why I said it's very beneficial. I hope that I gave you some knowledge. I hope that you got some gems from this, and I hope that you learned something new. I appreciate y'all. I'm tired. It's 1:05. Was at work all day. So, and I edited some videos, and then I started editing this video, and I was like, oh, y'all don't care about that. Y'all have a great night. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you.